The courtroom felt like it was closing in on me. I stood there, hands trembling, watching my wife Tessa sob into a tissue. Her voice cracked as she pointed at me and told the judge I hit her. The officers nearby looked at me with cold eyes, like I was already guilty. My throat went dry. Everything I'd built, my job, my reputation, my life, was crumbling right in front of me. "Mr. Keaton," the judge said, looking down at me over her glasses. "These are serious allegations." I wanted to scream that it wasn't true. That I'd never touched her. But my lawyer, Leah, squeezed my arm gently. "Stay calm," her grip said. So I stood there, silent, feeling my world fall apart. "My name's Aaron Keaton. I'm 34 years old. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. 3 weeks ago I thought my marriage was solid. I worked as a project manager at a small architecture firm in Chicago. Nothing fancy, but I was good at my job. Tessa and I had been married for 6 years. We had problems like any couple, but I never imagined she'd do this. I never imagined she'd try to destroy me with a lie. But she did. And almost everyone believed her. 3 weeks earlier, everything seemed normal. I came home from work on a Tuesday, carrying Thai food for dinner. Tessa was in the living room with her camera set up, filming what she called lifestyle content for her YouTube channel. She'd started it 8 months ago, posting videos about home decorating and daily routines. Nothing big, maybe 3,000 subscribers. "Hey babe," I called out. "Got your favorite, pad thai?" She barely looked up. "Just put it on the counter. I'm finishing a shot." I noticed she'd rearranged our entire living room again. New throw pillows I'd never seen before. A different rug. More decorative candles than anyone could possibly need. "When'd you buy all this?" I asked, setting down the food. "Last week," she said, still focused on her camera screen. "Don't worry about it." But I did worry. Our credit card bill had been climbing. I handled most of our finances, and lately there were charges I didn't recognize. Amazon deliveries every other day. Trips to HomeGoods. Money disappearing faster than I could track it. "Tessa, we talked about the budget," I started. She finally looked at me, her expression cold. "Here we go again. You're always trying to control what I spend." The next morning at work, my phone buzzed during a meeting. It was Kelly from HR. "Aaron, can you stop by my office when you get a chance?" "Nothing urgent." My stomach dropped. Nothing urgent usually meant something was very urgent. After the meeting, I walked to HR, trying to calm my nerves. Kelly sat behind her desk, looking uncomfortable. "Aaron, I need to ask you something sensitive," she began. "Is everything okay at home?" "What do you mean?" She shifted in her chair. "Someone reported that your wife came to a coffee shop near here yesterday with a bruise on her arm. They said she mentioned you two had been fighting." My mind went blank. That's not true. I've never hurt Tessa. "I have to ask these questions," Kelly said gently. "It's protocol." I walked back to my desk in a daze. A bruise? Tessa hadn't had any bruises. I'd seen her that morning. She was fine. I called her immediately. "Hey," she answered, her voice light and casual. "Kelly from HR just called me in. Someone said you have a bruise?" There was a pause. People talk too much. "It's nothing." "What bruise, Tessa?" "I bumped into the car door yesterday. That's all." "Don't be paranoid, Aaron." But I was paranoid now. Something felt very wrong. That evening, Tessa suggested we have a nice dinner together. She cooked pasta, poured wine, and set up her camera on the counter. "Just getting some footage," she explained. "My viewers love couple content." I tried to relax, but every question I asked seemed to set her off. "Why are you interrogating me?" she snapped when I mentioned the credit card bill. "You sound like my dad." "I'm just asking because we need to stick to a budget." She rolled her eyes and grabbed her camera, repositioning it toward me. "See, this is what I deal with. Constant questions. Constant control. I'm not trying to control you." That's exactly what a controlling person would say. She smiled at the camera like she was sharing an inside joke with her audience. Later, I watched her edit the footage on her laptop. She cut out every part where she raised her voice. Every part where she provoked me. The final version showed only my frustrated responses, making me look aggressive and unreasonable. She posted it with the caption, "Staying strong through the hard times." Comments flooded in. "You deserve better. Red flags, girl. Stay safe." I stared at the screen, feeling sick. She was rewriting reality, and hundreds of strangers were believing her version. 2 nights later, I was asleep when pounding on the door woke me. I stumbled out of bed and opened it to find 2 police officers standing on our porch. Tessa appeared behind me in her robe, looking startled. "Sir, we received a call about a domestic disturbance at this address," one officer said. "What? There's no disturbance. We were asleep." The officer looked past me at Tessa. "Ma'am, are you all right?" Tessa clutched her arm, tears suddenly streaming down her face. "I'm fine. Really. It's just, sometimes he gets loud when he's angry." My blood ran cold. "I haven't been angry. We've been sleeping." The officers searched the house anyway, looking for signs of violence. They found nothing because there was nothing. But the damage was done. As they left, one officer handed me a card. "Sir, maybe you two should spend the night apart. Cool down." "Cool down from what? We weren't fighting." After they left, I turned to Tessa. "What the hell was that?" She wiped her tears away, and for just a second, I saw something calculating in her eyes. Then it was gone. "I don't know, Aaron. Maybe the neighbors heard something and got worried. Let's just go back to bed." But I couldn't sleep. I lay there in the dark, realizing someone was building a story. And I was the villain. The next day at work, I confided in my coworker Mia during lunch. She'd been with the firm for 10 years and always gave good advice. I told her everything, the bruise, the edited videos, the police visit. Mia's expression grew serious. "Aaron, you need to protect yourself. Start documenting everything." "Documenting what?" "Texts, emails, receipts, anything that shows the truth. And never be alone with her during an argument. If you can, record your conversations. That feels paranoid. It's not paranoid if someone's setting you up." She leaned forward. "My brother went through something similar. His ex made false accusations during their divorce. It nearly destroyed him. The only thing that saved him was evidence. That afternoon, I created a private folder on my laptop labeled, 'Just in case.' I backed up our text messages, downloaded bank statements, and started keeping notes of every strange interaction with Tessa. It felt wrong, like I was spying on my own wife. But Mia was right. Something was coming, and I needed to be ready. A week later, I was doing laundry when I heard a faint buzzing coming from a basket of clothes. I dug through and found a phone I didn't recognize. Not Tessa's usual iPhone with the rose gold case. This was a cheap Android with a cracked screen. My hands shook as I unlocked it. No password. The text messages made my stomach turn. There was a contact saved as C with dozens of messages. "He's starting to suspect," Tessa had written 2 days ago. "Just stick to the plan," C replied. "You need a few more clips for evidence. Then we file." "What if he finds out?" He won't. He's too trusting. That's why this will work. I sat down on the bathroom floor, phone in hand, feeling like I couldn't breathe. This wasn't paranoia. This wasn't my imagination. Tessa was planning something, and someone named C was helping her. I took photos of every message with my own phone, then put hers back exactly where I found it. That night, I barely spoke to her. She asked if I was okay. I said I was fine, just tired from work. But inside, my mind was racing. Who was C? What was the plan? And how long had this been going on? The setup happened on a Saturday morning. We were in the kitchen, and I asked Tessa about a charge on our credit card. $300 at a boutique I'd never heard of. "Why do you always question me?" she shouted, her voice suddenly loud and theatrical. "I'm just asking." "Stop," she screamed, stumbling backward. She hit the counter and dropped to the floor, clutching her shoulder. "Stop it, Aaron." I stood frozen. I hadn't moved toward her. Hadn't touched her. But there, on the counter, her phone was recording everything. The angle captured her on the ground and me standing over her. My startled face. Her tears. "Tessa, what are you doing?" She grabbed her phone and stopped recording. When she looked up at me, her tears were gone. Her expression was cold and satisfied. "You should be more careful how you talk to me. I didn't touch you. The video says different." She stood up, brushed off her pants, and walked away. My legs felt weak. I replayed the moment in my head. She'd staged it. Perfectly. And now she had video evidence of something that never happened. 2 days later, my boss called me into his office. He looked uncomfortable, avoiding eye contact as I sat down. "Aaron, we need to discuss something difficult," he began. "I received a call from someone expressing concerns about your behavior at home." "What? Who called?" "I can't disclose that. But given the seriousness of the allegations, I'm putting you on unpaid leave until this is resolved." "This is insane. I haven't done anything." "I understand this is frustrating, but we have policies. Once things are cleared up, we'll revisit your position." I walked to my car in a daze. Tessa's lies weren't just affecting my marriage anymore. She was costing me my job, my income, everything I'd worked for. I sat in the parking lot, gripping the steering wheel, feeling rage and helplessness crash over me in waves. But then I remembered Mia's advice. Document everything. Stay calm. Don't give them ammunition. I took a deep breath, started the car, and drove to find a lawyer. Not a flashy one. Someone methodical who'd help me fight this the right way. Leah Morgan's office was small but organized. She was in her 50s, with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense attitude. I told her everything, showing her the messages from Tessa's second phone, the edited videos, the police reports. She listened without interrupting, taking notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finished, she leaned back in her chair. "Mr. Keaton, I won't sugarcoat this. False accusations of domestic violence are difficult to defend against because people naturally side with the accuser. But here's the good news, liars always make mistakes. Your job is to document those mistakes. I've been trying." "Good. Keep going. Save every text. Every email. Every video. Check your home security system if you have one. Timestamps matter. Inconsistencies matter." She looked at me directly. "Can you stay calm through this? No angry outbursts. No confrontations. I'll do whatever it takes. Then we have a chance." She slid a contract across the desk. "Let's get started." Walking out of her office, I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks, a small flicker of hope. I wasn't helpless. I had a plan. And this time, I'd be ready. Over the next few days, I went through everything with a fine-tooth comb. Our home security cameras uploaded footage to the cloud automatically. I checked the timestamps on every video Tessa had posted online, comparing them to the dates she claimed things happened. The bruise she showed in one video? The metadata showed the photo was taken 3 days after the date she'd written in her complaint. The clothes she wore in her proof video didn't match what she'd actually worn that day. I had receipts showing she bought those clothes 2 weeks later. Every lie left a trail. Every fabrication had a crack. I documented it all, organizing everything into folders with dates and labels. When I showed Leah, she actually smiled. "This is good work, Aaron. Very good. Keep going. You think we can win?" I think the truth has a way of coming out. Especially when someone's this careless with their lies. I checked our bank account on a Tuesday morning and nearly dropped my phone. $14,000 was missing from our joint savings. I logged into the account and saw the transfer had happened 3 days ago. The destination was a new account I'd never seen before, opened in Tessa's name only. When she came home from yoga, I was waiting at the kitchen table with my laptop open. "Why did you transfer $14,000? I asked, keeping my voice level. Her face flushed. "That's my money too. It's our joint savings. For emergencies. This is an emergency. I need to protect myself from you." She crossed her arms. "You're financially abusive, Aaron. You control everything." "I'm not controlling anything. I'm asking why you secretly moved our savings without telling me." "See? There you go again. Interrogating me. Making me feel unsafe." She pulled out her phone and started recording. "I'm documenting this. Your aggressive tone. The way you're cornering me." I stood up slowly, hands visible, and walked away. But before I left the room, I pressed record on my own phone in my pocket. Her accusations. Her manipulation. All captured. Later, I sent the audio file to Leah with a message, "More evidence." The following Saturday, Tessa's friend Lauren stopped by unexpectedly. I opened the door, surprised to see her. She looked nervous, glancing over her shoulder. "Is Tessa home?" she asked. "She's at the store. Should be back soon." Lauren hesitated. "Can I come in? Just for a minute?" We sat in the living room, and she fidgeted with her purse. "I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I feel bad. Tess said this would all be over by now." My pulse quickened. What would be over? She realized her mistake, her eyes widening. "Nothing. I just meant the tension between you two. That's all." "Lauren, what's going on?" "I can't. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything." She stood up quickly and left before Tessa got home. I sat there, replaying her words. This would all be over by now. Over how? What was Tessa planning? And when? The answer came 2 days later. A process server knocked on my door and handed me legal papers. Tessa had filed for a restraining order, claiming I'd lunged at her during an argument. The court hearing was scheduled for the following week. Before I could even process it, 2 officers arrived to escort me from my own house. They were polite but firm. I had 20 minutes to pack a bag. Tessa watched from the doorway as I grabbed clothes and toiletries, her expression unreadable. "I'm sorry it came to this," she said softly. "But I have to protect myself. I never touched you. The judge will decide that." I moved into a small rental apartment across town, the kind with thin walls and flickering hallway lights. That night, I sat on the bare mattress, surrounded by garbage bags full of my stuff, feeling like I'd lost everything. My house. My wife. My normal life. But then Leah called. Stay strong, Aaron. This is going to backfire on her. But only if you stay clean. No angry texts. No drive-bys past the house. Nothing she can use against you. I won't give her anything. Good. Because we're going to win this. I remembered our home security cameras the next morning. We'd installed them 2 years ago after a break-in in our neighborhood. They recorded continuously and uploaded everything to the cloud. Tessa had deleted footage from the night she claimed I lunged at her, but cloud backups kept copies of everything for 30 days. I called Leah immediately. Our home cameras. They might have footage from that night. Can you access them? Not anymore. She changed the passwords. But the company keeps backups. Leah contacted a tech specialist she worked with. Within 2 days, he'd retrieved fragments of deleted footage from the night in question. And there, in grainy video, was Tessa. Standing in front of our bathroom mirror. Practicing. He lunged at me, she said to her reflection, adjusting her expression. I was terrified. He's never been violent before, but... She paused, shook her head. No, say it like you believe it. He lunged at me. I was terrified. She practiced for 15 minutes, trying different tones, different facial expressions, perfecting her performance. The timestamp showed it was recorded 2 days before the incident she reported. When Leah showed me the video, I couldn't speak. There it was. Undeniable proof that she'd planned this. Rehearsed it. Built her lie carefully and deliberately. We present this in court, Leah said quietly. Only in court. Don't send it to anyone. Don't post it online. We do this right. The wait until the hearing felt endless. Every day, I woke up in that tiny apartment and tried to build some kind of routine. I couldn't work. Couldn't focus. Just waited for my chance to prove the truth. Tessa posted on social media throughout the week. Vague messages about finding strength and choosing peace. Her followers rallied around her with supportive comments. So proud of you for leaving. You're so brave. Nobody knew they were supporting a liar. I wanted to scream the truth to everyone. To post the video and let the world see what she'd done. But Leah's words kept me grounded, patience. We do this right. So I waited. And documented. And prepared. 3 days before the hearing, my parents called. They'd heard about the restraining order through family gossip. My mother's voice was tight with worry. Aaron, honey, maybe you should just apologize. Make peace with Tessa. This is tearing the family apart. Mom, I didn't do anything wrong. I know you have a temper sometimes. I don't have a temper. She's lying. But why would she lie about something like this? It doesn't make sense. My father got on the line. Son, pride isn't worth losing everything. Just say you're sorry and move on. I closed my eyes, feeling the betrayal cut deep. My own parents doubted me. You'll see the truth soon. I promise. Aaron. I have to go. I hung up and sat in the dark apartment, feeling more alone than I'd ever felt. But beneath the loneliness was something harder. Determination. I'd prove this. Not just to the court. To everyone. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Tessa sat on the other side with her lawyer, wearing a conservative dress and minimal makeup. She looked small. Vulnerable. Like someone who needed protection. The prosecutor went first, painting me as controlling and volatile. They showed the edited video of me looking frustrated during dinner. They presented the police reports from the night officers came to our house. They called witnesses who'd seen Tessa with bruises. It looked bad. Really bad. I could feel the judge's eyes on me, weighing every piece of evidence. But Leah stayed calm, making notes, occasionally objecting to hearsay or speculation. When it was our turn, Leah started gently. She asked about Tessa's YouTube channel, her spending habits, the second phone we'd discovered. Tessa's lawyer objected several times, claiming irrelevance. Your Honor, this goes to motive, Leah explained. Mrs. Keaton has been building a narrative online and behind the scenes. We have evidence that contradicts her claims. The judge allowed it. And slowly, carefully, Leah began pulling apart Tessa's story. Pointing out inconsistencies. Questioning timelines. Showing receipts that proved Tessa had purchased items she claimed were gifts for me to keep her quiet. I watched Tessa's confident expression start to crack. Your Honor, I'd like to present new evidence, Leah said, approaching the bench with a USB drive. Tessa's lawyer stood. Objection. We haven't been provided with this evidence during discovery. It was recently recovered from cloud storage that Mrs. Keaton attempted to delete, Leah replied. We're happy to provide copies now. The judge considered this, then nodded. I'll allow it. The courtroom screen flickered to life. And there was Tessa, standing in our bathroom mirror, practicing her lines. He lunged at me. I was terrified. The courtroom went silent. Completely silent. You could hear the air conditioning humming. Tessa's face drained of all color. Her lawyer leaned over, whispering urgently, but she just stared at the screen like she couldn't believe what she was seeing. The video played for 3 more minutes. Every practiced expression. Every rehearsed sob. Every calculated word. When it finished, the judge looked at Tessa with an expression I couldn't read. Mrs. Keaton, I'm going to ask you directly. Did you fabricate these allegations? Tessa's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Her lawyer whispered something. She shook her head. It's not what it looks like. I was just preparing what to say. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. But the timestamp shows this was recorded 2 days before the alleged incident. Tears started running down her face. Real ones this time. Not from guilt. From panic. I need a break. Please. The judge called a recess. During the break, Tessa fled the courtroom. I watched her rush past, sobbing, her lawyer chasing after her. People whispered. Court staff exchanged glances. The prosecutor looked shell-shocked. Leah sat beside me, calm as ever. Breathe, Aaron. This is almost over. But I couldn't breathe. Couldn't process. For weeks I'd been living in a nightmare, and now, suddenly, the truth was out. Everyone had seen it. The judge. The prosecutors. The witnesses. All of them knew now. When we reconvened, Tessa's lawyer made a brief statement requesting to withdraw from the case. The prosecutor looked at the judge and said quietly, Your Honor, given this new evidence, the state would like to reconsider its position. The judge removed her glasses. The restraining order is denied. Furthermore, I'm ordering an investigation into whether Mrs. Keaton should face charges for filing a false report. She looked at me. Mr. Keaton, you're free to return to your home. The court apologizes for this ordeal. I sat there, unable to move. Free. It was over. I was free. The days after the hearing felt surreal. I moved back into our house, though Tessa had already cleared out her things. Kelly from HR called to say my suspension was lifted and I could return to work whenever I was ready. Colleagues who'd avoided me suddenly sent apologetic texts. But I was different now. Quieter. More guarded. I'd learned how fast a lie could destroy everything, and how few people would stand by you when accusations flew. Mia brought me coffee my first day back. You did good, Aaron. You kept your head. Barely. But you did. That's what matters. I threw myself into work, rebuilding the reputation Tessa had tried to destroy. Some people still looked at me sideways. Gossip didn't disappear just because the truth came out. But slowly, things normalized. Leah helped me file for divorce and asset division. Given what Tessa had done, the court ruled heavily in my favor. I kept the house and majority of our savings. Tessa was ordered to pay my legal costs and return the $14,000 she transferred. She didn't fight it. Her own lawyer had advised her to settle quietly before criminal charges were filed. She signed everything without argument, knowing she had no leverage left. I never spoke to her again after the hearing. No closure conversation. No final argument. I just signed the papers and moved on. 6 months later, I heard through mutual friends that Tessa's YouTube channel had collapsed. Someone had leaked clips of the courtroom video online, and her comment sections exploded with angry messages. Sponsors dropped her. Followers disappeared. She posted a tearful apology video, claiming she'd been in a dark place and made terrible mistakes. But nobody bought it. The internet doesn't forgive easily. I didn't watch the video. Didn't read the comments. I'd moved on. Deleted her contact from my phone. Blocked her on everything. Some people asked if I felt vindicated. Honestly, I just felt tired. A year after the hearing, my boss promoted me to senior project manager. "You handled an impossible situation with integrity," he said during the meeting. "That's the kind of leadership we value here." I started mentoring younger staff members, sharing lessons about documentation, staying calm under pressure, and protecting yourself professionally. Some of them knew my story. Others didn't. It didn't matter. I just wanted to help people avoid what I'd gone through. A local news outlet even reached out for an interview about false accusations and due process. I declined at first, but Leah encouraged me to do it. "Your story could help someone else," she said. So I did the interview. Told my story carefully, factually, without anger. And afterward, I got messages from people who'd gone through similar situations. People who felt less alone knowing someone else had survived it. 2 years after everything fell apart, I stood outside the courthouse on a sunny afternoon. I'd come for a different case this time, helping a friend with a legal matter. But standing there, I remembered that day when Tessa's video played and the truth finally came out. I thought about how close I'd come to losing everything. My job. My home. My freedom. All because someone I loved had decided to destroy me with a lie. But I'd survived. More than that, I'd grown stronger. More careful. More aware of how quickly trust could be weaponized. I pulled out my phone and saw a text from a woman named Claire I'd started dating. Nothing serious yet, but she was kind and honest and made me laugh. Maybe someday I'd trust again. Fully. Without the walls I'd built. I typed back a reply, then looked up at the courthouse one last time. Tessa had tried to destroy me with her story. She'd crafted it carefully, rehearsed it perfectly, and almost succeeded. But in the end, her own video became her downfall. Her own words exposed her lies. The truth had won. Not because truth always wins, but because I'd fought for it. Documented it. Refused to give up even when everyone doubted me. I walked away from the courthouse into the sunlight, finally free.